world, we got us a verdict. Not guilt, not guilt. He's with us and he stays present. He never leaves me, he even gives me stage presence. I know you know I'm good to go. Pressure creates diamonds and fire refines the gold. Ain't nothing on this planet that's satisfying my soul. I'm living for tomorrow, today is out of control. For sure. Take out the money, here comes the pain. Yeah, they feel take that pain.
I know a lot of people that are scared gon' die. Couple of them thinking that we living in the sky. While I'm here living, man, I gotta ask why. What am I here for? I gotta figure out. Waste my life, no, I gotta make it count. If Christ is real, then what am I gonna do about everything in Luke 12, 15, out of 21? You really gotta go and check it out. Paul said if Christ ain't resurrected, we wasted our lives. But that implies that our life's built around Jesus being alive. God, they gonna live trying to show the world why. Christ is more than everything you'll ever try. Better than pretty women sitting and living to get a minute of any women in that you and I. It ain't no lie. We created for. Out of the dust, he made us for. Alexa said he saved us for. Jesus comes and he breaks us for. Magnify the Father, why bother with something lesser? He made us so we could bless him. To the world we confess him, resurrect him. So I know I got life. Matter of fact, better than I know I got Christ. You don't see his ways in my days and my nights. You can hit my brakes, you can stop my life. When I lost my rights, lost my life. Forget the money, cause the cost that ice. The cost is Christ. They can never offer me anything a little better than the cost that price. Yeah. Don't wanna waste my life. 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 Don't wanna waste my life.
That's the real cool. That's the real cool. Let's go.
I got no reason to fear. I got Jesus on my side. I got that.
Wait.
I got that.
That's my victory, right?
I got no reason to fear. I got Jesus on my side. I got that.
Hey, you might want to turn it up. You might want to turn this up. Listen.
Everybody's asking why you always laugh when there is no reason to smile.
To smile.
And everybody say,
Oh, yeah.
why do you keep praying? Things ain't changed for you in quite a while. When I think of all the stuff I had to go through just so I could be here today.
My Lord.
It always reminds me, go ahead and be thankful, cause I know my blessings.
Cause my blessings on the way, yeah.
Now I'm gonna make it, it couldn't be done.
But every time they see me, they say they go down. They go down.
Where my help comes from.
I just look up to them hills.
Hey.
I got Jesus on my side, yeah.
I got that. I got that. Hey, Scissor. Hey, welcome to the session. You already know. Give me a little bit more on this mic. You already know it's your boy, Minister Fred, too. It's super excited to be here with you. Yo, man, how you feeling, bro?
Man, it's a good Saturday, man.
Dude, it's bird weekend.
Yeah, you already know.
Post Circuit Day.
A lot of folks got them chilling. They mouth already.
Nah, I ain't gonna let no chili go. Nah, it just smells too bad. Even trying to get in there and you like, nah, I'm gonna be all right. But I understand if that's where you at, we praying for you. I'm gonna get you clean somewhere down there. No more dirty.
Yeah,
So check it. Well, welcome to the session. Bible Beats and Bars. You already know the business. It's on and popping. My man DJ Scissorhand in the building. Let's give it up for DJ brother Scissorhand.
Thank you.
Hey, you doing good, bro?
Oh yeah, man.
Dude, this is round 2. Ding! You already know, man. We got Mrs. Burks in the building. She about to do work. Yashima in the building over there. But we're going to get this mix on, man. Give them the mix. I'm going to drop this script after you do the mix. We're going to flip it up since it's a post-turkey day, post-veggie link day, post-whatever it is day. You know what I mean? What's that fried chick? Yeah. You know what? No, let me do this. Go ahead while you queuing up, man. We're gonna stay with Psalms 18. We was talking about part 1 was like, you know, who are you? Who am I without trauma? Yo, like last week was bananas, bro. Man, when she hit us with that, I'm a phenomenal woman. I was like, man, I'm a phenomenal man, bro. So look, I'm gonna keep then. This is what David says, man. He said, man, listen,
But this trauma is so deep, it's like a hangman's noose that's tight around my throat. The devil will be lurking, man. Water's rushing over me. Hell's rope be clenching me tight. Death traps just around the door, barring me in like an exit. I can't get out. It's a hostile world, Lord. But you know what? I called on you, God. I even cried because it was just so tough. I just couldn't see myself outside of trauma. But you helped me. It was from your place, God, that you heard my prayer. And it said, he looked at my eyes and you heard my cry. And it brought tears. And it says, you were right there in the midst of my trauma. In fact, I love what it says in message. It said it was a private audience, just you and me.
All right now.
Man.
Private audience.
Private audience. You know what I'm saying? When you go through trauma, man, it's just you, that trauma, dimension, that drama. And God says, no worries. I'm right there. I see you. I see you. Okay. It's like 2 weeks of that. Okay. No. Okay. I'm going to see if you really want out of this. Then the tears come. Oh, I really do. You know, because sometimes we'd be like, Lord, just help me. And then go back. Okay, Lord, help me. Lord, help me. Okay. He going to let you go. And until them tears, David said it wasn't until the tears, man. He was in the trench. Like he was king of Israel, owned all of Israel, northern and southern king, conquered it, got it all. Everybody's in this corner. And the Philistines, the Amorites, the Hittites, Amalekites. I mean, like there is 3.5 million of just God-fearing people. But then you got 17 million enemies. Trauma. So today we're going to finale on Thanksgiving, post-Thanksgiving, turkey, veggie link. Whatever it is you eat, I ain't doing no chitlins. That kind of day. It's a Saturday Sabbath. Blessings to you. Hey, man, drop that beat, bro. We'll be right back. No more dirty. The session. Uh-oh. He's starting up already. Got the Stric'ly Jesus jersey on. No more dirty. Stric'ly Jesus, bro. Number one. Look. Yeah. Hey. Okay. So get turned up. We about to do this. Yeah. Yeah.
I got my mind right. Oh yeah, I got that time right. I got the time. I do this all day. I gotta get my mind right. I got my mind right. I got the time right. I got the time. I do this all day.
Hey, I was down on my lowest, realigning my focus, analyzing my motives, had to redefine what my goals is, trying some a dime a dozen like roses, this flower bomb but no lotus, I had to get up and go, look who I'm becoming, that's what of my floaters, I know I'm the coldest, I come from the south, hey, they want to know what I'm about, won't do anything for clout, I know what it's like when you living without, I know what it's like when the bed is a couch, plenty accounts, zero amounts, been through the drought, I was the storm, this ain't even my final form, look, I tried it all on my own, reaping all that I sown, flexing my royalty, testing my loyalty, trying to impede on the seat of my throne, well, if it's soul, I needed some more. Why would I compete with a clone? I ain't forgetting and winning percentage. It's more like a scrimmage. I've been in my zone. I've been up, I've been down too. Got back up like round two. Prayed up, I never gave up. Lost everything, but I found truth. I got one life and I'm living too. God is real and I'm living proof. I see manifesting my physical and my spiritual and my mental too.
Man, you out of control today, bro.
You ready? I feel like you bring that turkey back. Round two.
I've been trying to tell the people what I've been on. Now they telling me they love me, but they in the friend zone. They were clapping for the boy when I would get my sin on. Now they acting like they know me when I'm in the end zone. I've been on the road, doing show, going straight to straight. Now they on my phone saying, bro, you gon' make them pay. They ain't never called when it was rhyming on my paper plate. Now they call me dog and I'm like, nah, but my Savior's great. Try to keep it low because my soul is something I ain't paid for. And at my show, I let them know about my father's grace, though. When I'm at my lowest, then my phone be in my conscience pray for me. And I get focused in my hope and I just shake them chains off me. Yeah, you can't ever tell me he don't love me, dog. In the land of dry bones, I'ma do the Dougie, dog. Even in the cyclone, I'ma keep it sunny, dog. When the bread of life growing, I ain't never hungry. Oh my, is you all in? Is you
I know in the morning. Okay. No. Now keep that thing going. Flip that B to the I to the B to the L to the E, we ride. We keep it strictly Jesus ministry, we keep it live. It's B to the I to the B to the L, X. Professor X on that DJ E and all, they got that automatic. Then we rockin' with my man, it's Scissor Hand. He be flipping, cutting up. He gon' make him catch an L, man. And then he gon' take him to the fishes of man. Then we bringing up my girl from the east now. And she be rocking it so cats can really see now. Then when they get done, I don't need you to come up. Call out there is ring ring. Miss Burks, can you come? Yo, man, you now we gon' flip it, flip the B to the I to the B to the L to the E. We gon' keep it strictly J to the E to the S to the U to the S. We gon' keep it turkey. What a time. Yeah. Hey. What a day.
That's a lie. I was just about to up and leave.
Y'all better get right. You already know this is the Bible Beats and Ball session, baby. Trauma went out the door. Good God of mercy. Come on, get in, man. Yo, welcome back. What's up? Oh my God, pull up a chair, dog.
Good to see you.
Yo,
Good to see you.
listen, we gonna cut the video today. We just gonna go right in.
Okay.
Cause like we had so many great responses from last week.
Yes, it was a blessing.
So we had 6 people respond. So listen, this is what we doing now. Check it. This is what I need you to do. I'm gonna ask Professor to throw that our email up. If you want a t-shirt, why don't you show them the shirt, bro? We got 2 different ones too this time. Shout out to God Over Money label, AI Anomaly. Yo, crazy, son. This is dope shirts. And you got a couple shirts too. So we're gonna do this is a post Turkey Day.
Yes.
And it's really about the giving, you know what I mean? So we're gonna give, look at that, that's dope, man. Look what it says. It says praise plus push plus perseverance. Go all in. We talking about going all in for you to be healthy, whole, and mentally stable, right? And happy.
That's right.
So that's one. Show them the other one. And this was for the ones you don't want to straight or you won't get. You're a runner. You just keep it simple. You run it in night, and there's people you need a white shirt. You just got to get it in. And then you got call your therapist shirt.
Yeah.
Call her, man. Call her.
Call them.
What's how can they tell them about your website so they can go there and they can book some time? Because last week it was great.
Yes. So hello@yearofyushima.net is my email address. But if you visit yearofyushima.net, all my contact information is there. And you can reach me and we can set up a free session. So
Okay.
check it out.
All right, well, let's get in, man. Go, throw another mix up in there, man, and we're going to get right in on this thing. I think it's just deep, man. And we're going to switch seats, man, so you can take over like you did before, because I'm like, man, I'm just feeling good. And listen, let me just say this. Don't forget our winter essential drive that we're partnering with ANVO, Alabama Nonviolent Offenders Organization. It's really important. That means if you have coats, socks, winter things, and look, get some good stuff. I mean, like in my closet, I got nothing but dope outfits. So I'm gonna have my really nice stuff that like I'm getting new stuff. I got brand new, jeans, you got coats, if you got some gently used stuff, some boots, some tin, because listen, it's gonna help those that have made a decision to change their life for the better. They've come out of lockup, but they don't have a lot of clothes. And then they have children that really need a great holiday, Christmas or holiday season. Or it might be a sister week because we deal with both male and female that have kids and just trying to do better with their life. And we're also working to partner with housing. But all of that is through this collaborative effort with Alabama Nonviolent Offenders Organization, here No More Dirty, and a few other affiliates, our hip hop community. Shout out to Marcus Sims of Marcus Sims Media and also DJ Scissorhand. So we're doing some really great things. So do me a favor. You can come and you can drop it off here every Saturday up to the 18th of December. So that means you have about 2-3 more weeks. We want the place to be packed. Like we got some stuff in the back now. We're starting to get a lot of stuff. We actually have about 4 jackets, about some socks, wool socks, long sleeve socks. So do us a favor. Come and just definitely drop it off here. If you're unable to drop it off during the weekend here, you can drop it off at the United Way of Madison County building. That's 701 Andrew Jackson Way. and that is they're at the building right there on Andrew in 5 Points area. And they're there Monday through Friday from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So let's give them some of this drop, man. Let's get in, man, because we got to finish this up because you still got more to go. And that was so deep last week. I was like, Lord Jesus, we got to cut something out.
Yeah.
Let's go. Drop it.
I just wanna live.
It is. That young brother
God protect me. I'm a young black man. Doing all that I can to stay. Oh, but when I look around and I see what's being done to my kind, every day I'm being haunted and prayed. My people don't want no trouble. We got it all struggle. I just wanna live. God protect me. I just wanna live. God protect me. So many thoughts in my head.
Yo. What? Welcome back to the session, Bible Beats and Bars. That's DJ Scissorhand on the ones and twos. You already know when he in the building, that jump beat lit. What the kids say, bust, and they bust. And that's the new one. I was out, we was shout out to Alabama A&M. They invited our kids from housing to the Christmas tree lighting this past week or so. And the kids, they gave them a nice catered meal. They got a gift card, $25 gift card. And it was like they like the big tree on the campus. And the kids like, Mr. Willow, bussin'. This is bussin'. Man, the chicken is on dope, man. They got an early Thanksgiving, they said, and they was bussin'. So this is bussin', boy. You bussin', bro. You bustin', bro. All right, so let's get in. Let's talk about it. Where we at now? Round two.
Hey, good to see you all again. Welcome back. Everybody full
The famous Yoshima Cherry Burks. And that's
here.
Mrs. Check it. Back up, bro.
I'm here. Hey, welcome. Today we are going to do workshop 2, and I am excited. We are going to get through it because there's some good stuff in here. So get ready. All right. So
what we gonna cover?
We're talking about dysfunctional versus functional families.
Okay.
We're going to talk about ways to heal your broken parts, different things that we can do to start that process. And also we're going to do something fun at the end, a bucket list.
Okay.
So we need to end on a high note.
Praise
some heavy stuff. You hear?
Been here last week was so heavy. People were like, Lord, I did the work. And I actually people were like chiming in, like, listen, this is what they needed. So this is the finale. Okay, so let's get in. What's up? Part 2.
Let's get started. All right. So you'll see in your description, there'll be a handout that you can actually follow along with us and participate. So you will not be left out of this
true therapist
healing session. Okay. This healing party. All right. You are invited. Okay. So first thing we're going to get into right now, we're going to talk about your little 5-year-old self, that little girl inside of you. Okay. Or boy, if it's, if you're a male watching this.
There's 2 of us at least.
Yes, at least 2, right? If you can go back in time, what would you say to your 5-year-old self?
Wow.
If you can go back in time, what would you say? And so we're just going to think about that for a minute. And I want you to take some time and just think of one piece of advice that you would give to your 5-year-old self.
Don't be so hard on myself because it ain't my fault.
Yes. Yes. And that's powerful.
You're going to make it. You're going to do great things, even though they don't think you are.
Yes.
Because people used to really say I wouldn't make it.
And as kids, you internalize that. This takes a long time.
And it took me a long time because I didn't finish school. I dropped out. Trying to prove that I can make it. I ended up having to come back and finish my through an adult leap program, but I made it. But
Mhm.
those words
Around the
Mhm.
way.
Trigger.
were damaging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
You can't do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's you starting off deep. You
I'm
know,
sorry.
so
I was trying to
make
start
us
off
a
lighter.
cry up
than
in here,
that.
man.
But think about
Post Turkey Day crying.
Post Turkey Day. You know, turkey makes you sleepy. That vegan turkey makes you sleepy.
Right.
too.
They do,
So it makes
You're
you
right.
sad. But I
But no,
want to
Steve,
think about it. Think about the things that were said to you that made you feel guilt and shame, or made you feel less than or inadequate, right? So when we think about those things, you think about how that's affected you, the decisions that you've made, the way that you view and perceive life and people around you, the relationships that you've gotten involved in,
yeah,
the people
yeah,
that you
yeah,
chose to hang out with,
yeah.
the different activities that you involved yourself in. If only you had this one piece of advice
Mm.
that you just gave yourself right now, it would have made all the difference in the world.
Mhm.
Can I interject, Professor X? Did you want to chime in on that one, brother? Okay, you see, good.
You good, Professor?
You trying to make it so
He'll
deep,
put it in the
just-
comments
he'll put it in
later.
the
Right,
comments,
right.
'cause that's deep.
He's gonna put in the
Yeah.
comments later. He's thinking about it. But for me, it would have been just hold on. It gets better.
All
Mm.
right.
Right. Because sometimes you need to see the light at the end of the tunnel. When you're in the midst of that storm, you can't see that things are going to get better and everything feels so heavy and so weighty and so permanent, especially as a child. So knowing that we needed this, I want us to take this and be mindful of the way that we interact with our own children.
True. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like, what words are we
Yeah.
saying? Are we speaking life into them or no?
Mhm.
So we need to make a decision to speak life into them and into ourselves. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Professor. So now we're going to go to dysfunctional family roles. We jumping right into it. All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
So dysfunctional family roles. What's a dysfunctional family? When you think about a dysfunctional family, we think about people on TV, right?
Right.
Mhm.
And then we might think about some family members in our own family. I've never met a fully functional, perfect family, right?
True.
Never, never in my life. So
Okay.
we all have had an experience in one way or another with a dysfunctional family. The definition is not operating normally or properly and deviating from the norms of social behavior in a way that's regarded as bad. So when you look at the different signs of a dysfunctional family, it's a lot of them. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I want you to take your time and go through this video again and see what you can check off to see what makes sense. It's 18 of these signs. I'm going to do about 3 of them.
Yeah, give us about 6 or 7.
About 6 of them?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're in a home where it was physical or verbal abuse, if you were constantly being yelled at, belittled, if you weren't being supported in your efforts to do better, a lack of empathy, if you hurt yourself or if you're tired or if you're crying, if you weren't allowed to express your feelings. When you get older, that can make you either hypersensitive or that can make you put that wall up because nobody cares, right?
Mhm.
If you feel uncomfortable when that person comes around, I always tell parents, never make your children hug and kiss on a family member if they don't feel comfortable. And it's the holiday season for that to happen.
Yeah.
How many of y'all made your kids hug old weird Uncle Jack, right? And go sit with him in the living room and you knew he wasn't right when you were little,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And that's what hurt people do. Hurt people, and it takes away your ability to see what's safe and unsafe, healthy and unhealthy when you have not healed from your own trauma. Okay. They try to tell you something in a roundabout way and be judgmental and criticize you. They may have anger issues and just argue with you, just not be supportive. So there's a lot of different ways that you can identify and just spreading malicious gossip as well. So you have ever heard somebody talking about you when you was little and you just feel so helpless and they just telling all your business, but they telling it from their perception of you and you feeling like, but that's not even,
Right.
I didn't, and so we have to be mindful of those things and go back and tell ourselves that it's okay and you're safe now. Okay. And that's in my book. Make sure you picking up the pieces to 100 Broken Promises because it goes in depth with all of these different issues that we've had to deal with.
Wow.
Okay. In a dysfunctional family, there's many kinds of parents, right? They can be addicted to drugs or alcohol. They can suffer from personality disorders, mental health issues, narcissism, personality disorders, the environment is just unhealthy. And so these roles are called dysfunctional family roles. So we're going to talk about 6 main dysfunctional family roles today.
So before you do that, we want to thank you so much, Professor, for putting that up, the graphic. Let's put up her book again. I think we definitely want to show that because I think it's important. You're doing some amazing work. And then what I want to do is say kudos to you because I know I had an opportunity to meet some of your students and they're just doing amazing things.
Yes, they are.
You know, they
Thank you.
finishing up that GED equivalent diploma, high school diploma. And they're really great kids. So
I'm a proud mama.
I know you are.
All
You got a whole
right.
class full of them
Whole
too.
class.
Yeah, so that's cool. So kudos to you. And thank you so much for what you're doing. Thanks for taking time during the holiday, this holiday to be with us and to finale and just share. So let's get in on these roles because I think it's important. You know?
Yeah, it is.
You got a family, you don't even know how dysfunctional your family is.
Ooh, that is powerful.
Right.
Because when you are in that stuff, until you're able to compare that to a healthy family role, you don't know that what you're in is dysfunction. If you've ever spent the night at your friend's house and their mother or dad gets up and makes breakfast for them and you're not the one cooking, your friend not babysitting and cooking and getting yelled at and cussed at, and you start to compare, like, hold on, this is not right. And that's when most kids recognize, oh man, this is not right. So when you become an adult, if you have never experienced a healthy relationship, you still continue to choose those dysfunctional relationships, okay? So these are dysfunctional roles within your family unit. We're going to talk about the caretaker, the hero, the lost child, the clown, the scapegoat, and the manipulator.
Wow.
Okay, we're going to talk about these. Now, I want you to know none of these roles are mutually exclusive. You can't just be a hero and never be the manipulator, right? There's different times in your life, depending on what's going on, that you become one of these roles to survive. Right? And they're all defense mechanisms. So it's not like it's something that you're stuck in a role with, okay? So I want you to think about what role resonates with you in your personal life, and then think about your favorite auntie or uncle or cousin or something, and see if it fit. And think about what age you were. Yes, that's good. Okay, Professor, go to the next slide. Okay, so the caretaker, they take care of their family members' needs as a child. They cook and they clean, they babysit, they take care of everybody's kids and they're basically a little bitty adults.
Yeah.
They doing way too much, team too much, right?
Team too much.
Team too much. They're put in a parental role and they're held accountable as if they are the age or the role of the parents, right? Yeah. And so they get disciplined for things that they may not do or may not understand. So it's a really unhealthy role for the kids to be in as a child. And when that person grows up, they become a people pleaser. They become someone that needs to make sure everybody around them is taken care of, and they never stop to assess what they need, okay? So then we have the hero. The hero pretends that everything is okay in the family. They're the rescuer. They don't want to hear nothing bad about mama, even though mama was a raging alcoholic, used to beat y'all and put you in the closet. Don't bring that up. Our family is perfect, so they try to hide that dynamic of the family and be the hero and be the golden child, right? Then we have the lost child. They aren't noticed by the family members. This is the sibling that's quiet, the one that usually stays in their room and plays alone. They just want to kind of fade into the background and not be seen because that attention is usually negative when they get it. So they try to stay out of the way and separate themselves from the family, and they usually move out first or as soon as possible. They try to dip out as soon as possible. And so when that happens, they find themselves in dysfunctional relationships. Why? Because they got with somebody just to remove themselves from this household, but they jump from the frying pan into the fire. So now they have other things they have to deal with. And just to piggyback on the hero, they usually end up with superficial relationships. They don't know how to really connect to people because they're so used to masking and hiding that they never really have a heart-to-heart connection, okay? Wow. So we look at the clown. So the clown diffuses tension by using humor and laughter, because who doesn't like a happy child, right? Who doesn't like a happy person?
Wow.
You make them feel good. So then you become a person as an adult when people want you around them, not because they value you, but because you make them feel good. They don't know how to pour into you because you've never required that of them. But you're the one that comes in, comic relief, and you're the one that comes in to help them to feel good about themselves.
Wow.
That's the clown.
Okay.
Scapegoat. We all know what the scapegoat is, right?
Everybody gets the punch.
I want to hear
punchline. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Right. The scapegoat is the one that everybody in the family hates because they know where the bones are buried.
Okay.
They know
Alright.
everybody's
Okay,
business.
okay,
But
okay.
everybody seems to hate the scapegoat. But I'm going to tell you, the relationships and the interactions that I've seen with these scapegoats, once you talk to them, you recognize that all they did was really put up boundaries. And they stopped receiving and accepting the things that their family members were doing 9 times out of 10. That's why they
Wow.
became the scapegoats, because they're no longer accepting what the family did. So the family blames them for everything wrong that's happened within their family unit.
So wow, so is that them making that decision not to be that person? Is that a healthy thing, or can it be healthy and unhealthy, or you know what I'm saying?
I think it's one of those roles that you're placed in as a child. So think about being blamed for your parents' relationship breaking up, right? Because it usually starts when you're very young. You're blamed for everything. You ran up my light bill, so now I can't pay the car note. So now we getting our car towed, and now everything's your fault, right? You. It's always something that's outside of that child's control. So as that child grows up, they continue to receive the negative attention. Instead of the parents taking responsibility for their own actions, they place it on the child, right?
Okay, thank
So
you,
they
sir.
displace that, right?
Got you.
So it's something that you're put into. It's usually not something you choose.
Okay.
The manipulator. We all have a manipulator in our family, right? At some point, some of us may have even been a manipulator and don't even know. So the manipulator plays family members against each other. So they'll come and tell you something and then go tell them something. So a dog bring a bone, a dog take a bone. My mom always said that. Dog bring a bone, a dog take a bone. So if you have a family member that's coming to you telling you what auntie said, trust and believe she done told auntie that you said something. But all the while, they're still acting like they are the innocent one and they're just trying to help and playing victim to get what they want. Okay, so that's the manipulator. So I want you to think about these roles when you're interacting.
Did you do narcissists?
No, so that's not part of the family role,
Okay.
but I'm gonna tell you what, narcissists can fit any of these family roles because it sounds very much like a narcissist where everything's about them and they know how to play people. So that's really good that you said that. Absolutely, they're very manipulative.
All right.
And so when you look at these different traits that you see in yourself too, because I'm all about self-assessment. Don't just go pointing the finger because you got 3 coming back at you, right?
And a thumb.
And a thumb. Well, depending on how you point. How you point, Minister Fred? How you
That's
point?
good.
Okay, that's okay. So he point like
Thumb is
that.
coming back,
Okay,
like
Fred,
this.
I just want 3 coming at me. But Fred got 4 coming at him. So yes, I want you to absolutely be sure to assess yourself too, because we can look at somebody else and point out their flaws. All right. So now we know what dysfunctional family roles are. Let's move on to healthy family roles, Professor.
This is cool. This is really cool because here we are. It's a holiday weekend. We're getting ready to go in now. Tomorrow will be Black Friday, which I hate for using that term.
Yeah.
But I'm going to call it Grateful. Next Friday will be Grateful Friday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So tomorrow, next Friday, and I just think it's important. What you're saying, right, really makes sense. If those are the traits of what's going on in my house or your house or our homes, there is no way we can become healthy, whole, and happy.
No, because you live in the chaos and the dysfunction, and something has to change. You have to do something different in order to get something different. And I think that we get complacent in our pain because the pain of disappointment of this thing not working out, if you put the hard work into it and you want to change and do better and it doesn't work out, that fear is what holds you back. But you got to get over that. You got to go through that.
And what you're doing, let me tell you, I am so grateful. We are so grateful because this is helping me as an individual say, okay, when I am at that point, how do I see myself and who am I, like you said last week, without trauma?
Mhm.
Or who am I when trauma's in my door?
Right.
Mhm.
Or like we read today in Psalms 18, man, it's like a chokehold on me. I don't have to continue to let you choke me,
Yeah.
or you can have a tight grip on me, as David said the king of Israel. I can say, okay, God, can you please remove this
Yeah.
and tell me and show me how to put the work in, which is what you're saying.
Yes. Exactly. Mhm.
And then we don't have to be hostage anymore.
Absolutely
Yo,
not.
this is heavy.
Absolutely not.
Okay, I'm just as you're talking, it's just like, wow.
Mm-hmm. And this is all biblical. That's the thing. My
Hmm.
book is based in the Word of God, right? It's just giving you practical, real life examples and tools so that you can be happy, healthy, and whole and heal from whatever trauma you've experienced. We're all going to go through stuff.
Yeah.
And the only thing that has gotten me through it is the Word of God and knowing that He is real. And He had to bring me to my knees several times in order for me to recognize none of these decisions I'm making is for the betterment of me or the people around me.
Wow.
Right. And when He loves you, He chastises you. So
All right.
if you've gotten it, it's because God loves you. I'm gonna just say that.
Right.
So He's gonna show you how to be happy, healthy, and whole. And He's gonna use my book, Picking Up the Pieces to 100 Broken Promises, to
All
do
right.
that in addition to everything else that He's gonna give you. You deserve to be happy, healthy, and whole. Let's talk about some healthy family roles now.
Okay, cool.
So some traits. There are also traits of a healthy family. We can go to the next one, Professor. And they're vital to the healing process. We cannot choose our biological family, but guess what? We can choose to be around people that love us and respect us and support us. And we have to create our own family unit sometimes.
Right,
I've
right.
had to do that. Some of you had to do that. And some of you had to do it not by choice, but because it was necessary, because you didn't have that support, okay?
That is so powerful. I know I don't want to go stretch it out, but I think that's important. What you just said. If you know where you are in the station of life, the situation in terms of people around you, and they really are not helping you, they're really toxic. You really have to consider what the doc is saying, because there are times when I just don't click, and my closest family friends is No More Dirty Squad, Scissorhand, Professor X, Coach Joe, Marcus Sims, Chap, who's in New Mexico, and we pray together every week. And then I have my family too. I pray with them too, but because our schedules are crazy, sometimes I just can't get to them. But these cats check in.
Right.
My mom checks in, whatever. But if it's not a situation that's healthy, be okay with, hey man, I need a big brother. I need a little brother.
Right.
I need somebody to talk to, bro. I'm about to bust.
Absolutely.
I think that's important,
That's great, because that's part of writing your own narrative, like we talked about last week. That goes into every aspect of your life. You write your own narrative, create the family that you've always wanted to have.
Yeah.
Because you deserve that. You deserve to have support. But first you have to begin the healing process, because you have to learn how to choose a healthy family.
Okay.
Okay.
You
So,
got gangs and stuff out there, the negative families.
right.
Ready to accept people with dysfunctions.
And that is so important, to be able to recognize that need. So people who join those organizations, those gangs and everything, they need to feel protected, right? Somebody dropped the ball somewhere in their childhood and they didn't feel safe. But there's power in numbers. Even if those people have to beat me to get me into this,
Right.
I took beatings before. It's nothing.
Right.
Right?
True.
So that's why
Yeah.
it's not a thing for them to go ahead and engage in that type of behavior, because at least I'm going to get something out of it this time.
I hear that.
Right.
And it's my decision and my choice. The promiscuous boys and girls, or young people, young adults who were violated when they were younger, they're promiscuous, not because this is just something they chose, but because they're taking control of their life and they don't know how to process it, right?
Yeah.
So now you took it from me, so now I'm going to give it to who I want to, when I want to, because I'm in control, right?
Right.
So these are all ways that we process our pain before we become healed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
And that's deep too. And how we see ourselves. I'm the baddest B.
Oh, and it's so derogatory.
Yeah.
Ratchet is really sexy.
Yeah, and it's not.
When is ratchet sexy?
And naked does not mean that you are, being empowered. I think that is a misnomer
Come on.
that this fake feminist movement is having us believe that, you feel empowered by being naked and showing your body. Really, what you're saying is you're insecure and you just need someone to give you some positive attention. But it's still not going to grow you. It's still not going to help you. Right. And that the type of attention that you get, you're going to get lust. And that's it. That's temporary.
Right.
Yeah.
Ain't no
Very
way
temporary.
around.
That's part
Yeah.
of the partner.
Man,
That's situational.
Yeah. Very situational. And they're not pouring into you anything.
Right.
You're taking.
Right.
Right.
Except things they shouldn't be pouring. Okay. So we live in a time nowadays where disagreements push you in cancel culture. It creates the negative that love no longer resides there if you disagree with someone's life choices. Love and conflict can coexist. We have to learn how to be able to accept that just because I don't agree with what you do, it doesn't mean that I hate you or I'm phobic. We have to get out of that mindset in order to have healthy relationships with people, because you're going to have people in your family members that may do things and you may voice your opinion and say, I don't agree with that, or they may not agree with you. It doesn't mean that they are against you.
Sure.
They don't have to agree with every decision that you make. Okay?
Mhm.
You can
Tell
still
them
have a
folks, tell
healthy
them folks.
relationship.
Tell them that again.
They don't have to agree with every decision that you make in order for them to love you. Okay? Conflict and disagreement and love can all coexist. It's okay for somebody to not fully agree with your decisions, but they will accept you and love you. Okay? But you cannot disconnect just because they disagree with a decision that you made, unless you're hurting yourself or others. All right? So we need to get that out the way. All right, so 5 traits of a healthy family, Professor, on the next slide. First thing we're going to discuss is boundaries. Now, I went a little crazy with the boundaries, so we are not going to go through all this because that is one of the things that I love to discuss. We're going to have to come back to that another
We're
day.
coming back in December. Yeah.
We're going to come back another day and talk about boundaries, okay? Priorities. What are you prioritizing? Communication, conflict is actually healthy, right? And service. What does that look like in your family? All right. So this is a little quote here where it says, family isn't always blood. It's the people in your life who want you in theirs. It's the ones who accept you for who you are. The ones who would do anything to see you smile and who love you no matter what, right?
Wow.
And that is what a healthy family trait looks like. So boundaries. Everyone in there, and it's the next one, Professor, everyone in the family knows their role. The children are the children, and the parents are the parents. There's no role confusion. Families work out their issues and seek spiritual and or professional help when needed. Parents take the leadership roles, and they leave the children out of disagreement. So children are not used as a pawn.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
Children are not used as a way to be vindictive, or they're not used as a way to try to keep someone.
Right.
Either, right? You don't create a human being in order to manipulate a relationship, all right? And they protect their children from hurt, harm, and danger, all right? They nurture and they discipline simultaneously. So it's a healthy balance. And discipline is simply teaching. Okay, so if we went to the root word of that, discipline, disciple, teach.
All right.
Right?
Yeah. All right.
So we need to be mindful of how we disciple our children.
All right.
And how we disciple each other. We have to do it in love. Okay.
It's really good.
I stayed on this boundaries way too long. It's about 13. We just going, we not.
That's cool. You good.
We're not going to stay here. Okay. But I want you to think about which one of these boundaries have you had violated as a child? How did it make you feel? And have you learned how to set healthy boundaries around that issue now? We talked about earlier being forced to hug weird Uncle Jake or Auntie Mammy, right? And feeling like you never had control over who was in your space or who touched your body. How did that show up later? What does that look like now? Never being allowed to make choices concerning your personal space. What does that look like now, okay? Which of these boundaries have you violated? Have you ever violated somebody's boundaries? If they didn't want to have conversation with you, or if they had a situation with finances. There's a lot of different ways we can violate boundaries, okay? And we're going to get into that in another workshop. But I want you to think about the things that's been done to you and the things that you've perpetuated as well, right? Because it's all about inner reflection, right? Priority. Wow. Thanks, Professor. Family relationships take priority. Parents create an environment of trust and openness with their children. Parents are supportive of the children's interests and goals. An extended family respects the privacy and wishes of the parents for the children. So let me say, they stay in their lane.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
The grandparents aren't trying to be the parents. The sisters aren't trying to be the mamas. Mm-hmm. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and the family members do not gossip and spread rumors about each other. If it's something that's going on in the household, it stays in the household and it gets worked on, unless you're just trying to pray for somebody else.
All right.
Okay?
Right.
That's it. That's not to say that you don't have a right to tell your story, because my book is full of the tea with everybody in my family, and everybody mad at me, but they'll be okay. You shouldn't have did it.
All right.
You shouldn't have did it.
I know that.
All right? You can tell your story. As long as you're telling the truth, and as long as it's not, putting nobody down. I just told the truth. I'm sorry. One day y'all will forgive me. All right, moving forward. Communication. Communication. All right. It's essential for any relationship. When you're in a healthy relationship, you can freely express yourself without feeling like you're walking on eggshells. Have you ever met somebody that's too sensitive and you don't know what to say to them because you know they're just going to get offended, or you don't know how they're going to take it? That's a miserable environment to be in.
Is it vice versa to that? People make you feel like you make belittling them, and it's not even that.
And it's not right. And so when you have somebody that doesn't know how to accept you,
yes,
and you can't explain your way and make them understand it, it makes it worse.
Yes,
that's a problem.
Yeah, and that is powerful, because if the communication style or the way we communicating is not impactful and correct in terms of, if I know how Sister likes for me to communicate and I know how, then I know what I need to do. If that person's a texter and not a phone call talker,
right,
then I need to text and say, hey man, you got a second to talk. Not
right. Oh, that's so good that you said that, because
I had to learn that, because I'm a talker, but most folk I can ride with, they texters, and I say, you got a second, then they call back.
Right.
And when I learned that, I was like, oh dude, we in the building.
Right.
And I still get the conversation.
Right. Yes. Right. So you learned how to accept someone's boundaries, and you adapted your behavior without damaging the relationship.
Correct.
Because you grown men, you do grown man stuff.
You ain't
right?
lying.
Grown men do grown men stuff.
Yeah.
That's it. So when we talk about learning how to communicate effectively and efficiently, one thing that I love is the love language test. Okay. I had all my students do this. Whenever I have my friends, they hate me because I'm not trying to therapize people, but I just be wanting to know. So when you learn what your love language is, you learn that that's how you communicate with people, right? But people may not receive the way we communicate and the way we love. So it's important to tap into how they want to communicate.
So we're going to have to do that.
Let's do that. I think that'll be a good one.
As a lead in.
Let's do it.
And we can do that with the guys.
Let's do the love language. Yeah,
that's cool.
That'll be fun.
Is there a love language that triggers negativity in other people?
It depends on what trauma they have that may be. So like some people have, I'm a touchy person, right? Okay. But I understand boundaries, so I don't touch people, right? If your love language is to touch somebody and they don't want to be touched, yes, that's a violation. So that can trigger something and make it negative for them.
I hear exactly what you said off of that.
Yeah.
That's powerful. So that means you got to have a conversation.
Right.
So you got to learn about who you with.
Exactly. Right. Learn who your people are.
Got to have family dinners or dynamic family time or something.
Yeah. And just discuss those things. And there's some great games out there. The Ungame I got at the Christian bookstore years ago. And it just helps you to have these conversations. You just pull up a card and you just discuss it. I'm also creating a game like that where it just sparks conversation. It gets to the root of things and it's deep, but then it has some lighthearted stuff in there too. So it's a mixture. Cool.
Love that.
So conflict is actually healthy. Okay. We have to fight fear though. You can't be going below the belt, and never use terms never and always, right? We can't just generalize everything. You always do that or you never do that, right? It turns people off and they're no longer listening. So when you have conflict with somebody, make sure it's just a disagreement and you're expressing how you feel, but you're still remaining respectful. Okay, and you stay focused on the issue at hand. Don't bring up old and new.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ever have an argument? You ever been the one arguing and you bring up
Right.
old and new?
Right.
That's not good. Don't
Right.
do it.
My ears just fold.
Yeah, you shut them out.
Now, I'm going to say this while you're listening to this good information, make sure you, again, if you have questions or if you want to receive one of the gifts that we'll have, make sure you email us at info@nomoredirty.org and say, hey, I enjoyed the show. Love one of the gifts. And between the Tell Your Therapy shirt and AI shirt or CD, we'll make sure we supply that for you.
Absolutely.
So make sure you do that. We'll respond to you. Then you'll put us your email, your address in there so we can mail it to you.
And we will get that right to you. Also, make sure you check out the first part if you missed it.
Yes.
Because that lays the foundation for what we're discussing today. So make sure you go back and watch the first part that we recorded last week, right? We had a good time. Everybody enjoyed themselves. And there was some good, healthy stuff in there. So make sure you get up in there, okay?
So that's YouTube. If you haven't subscribed and this is your first time checking, go to YouTube, No More Dirty INC.
Yes.
4 words. NOMORE, Dirty DIRTY, like my jersey, INC. All right.
That's right. That's
Just want to plug.
That's right. There's nothing wrong with a shameless plug. And visit yearofyoushima.net for all of your inspirational needs as well.
It is.
Call your therapist.
It is. You got it up on the screen.
Say thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Yes. All right. So the last thing we're going to discuss as far as healthy family traits, and there's more, but this is just the 5 basic foundational ones, is service.
All right.
Service and certitude, right? How do you show up in your role in your family or in an environment where you're around people that love you and need you? Not saying that you're supposed to sacrifice all your time and everything, but you're supposed to do your job, stay in your role. If you have a child that has chores to do, they should be doing their chores, not because they're being punished or because they're going to get money, but because this is what we do as a family. And one thing that I recognize in white families that Black families need to do more of, they use terms like we. We don't do that.
All right.
This is what we do. They build up in their children that there is a standard that you need to live by in our family. And it gives them something to look forward to. This is what I expect of you, and I expect you to rise up to that, right? And so after learning and watching those different dynamics, because I didn't have that in my life, I was always told what Jesus would do, right? But sometimes that standard was too high for a 16-year-old girl going through hormonal changes, right? So I couldn't live up to that standard, so I ain't had nothing else to, back up on. So when you talk to your family and you put it in the perspective of, hey, this is what we do, we make sure we respect ourselves, right? Because you're special, because you're important. So no, you don't need to go out here and do ABCD because you're not representing who we are, right? It's a sense of belonging.
Wow.
It's a sense of importance. It's a sense of entitlement. And you just carry yourself differently when you know that you belong to somebody.
Right.
Can single mothers achieve that?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. A single mother can do everything that anybody else can do with their children. It's just a little bit more difficult. And I don't have a problem with calling in on your village, ladies, right? But I want you to be mindful of who you're bringing around.
Right.
Because I've had a lot of situations with a lot of clients and in my personal life where they can bring too many things in there. So if it's not sent from God, and that's family, friends, whoever, just don't do it, okay? But absolutely, you can instill those things. This is what we expect of you, and still use the term we because you're still a family.
And I love that because that's how God intended, and he set the design. He said, let us make Adam and Eve, mankind. Let us. We.
Yes.
We are his priesthood, his children, we, us. And when you start speaking in that, then people understand that they are a part of the we and the us, and not me versus you, or you're the blame. Because if you're always to blame, then we have done something wrong.
Right. That's great. And it helps us to take responsibility for all of our actions. So you're not in this thing alone.
Right.
So We got an F on our math exam today. What happened?
Right.
Do we need to study more?
Right.
What do I need to do to make sure that you feel you understand this, right? This is a family unit. I'm not going to look down on you because you represent us. You are me. We are together in this thing. So yes, it's all inclusive. And when we start to see not only our family unit, our immediate family like that, but we start to see mankind as a we and not a they, when we remove they and them, us, you know, when we remove those negative terms like they and them, because it can be negative when we say that sometimes, it helps us to humanize our human race again. And it brings us together and it makes it inclusive. So everything that I want for my family, I want for all of us.
Yeah, that's
right?
good.
We are in this thing together. We are growing. We are becoming healed. We are learning together. Okay? Good.
Wow.
So those of you who have your handouts, make sure that you do your rate your healthy traits. Where are you on a scale of 1 to 5 in your family traits? And I want you to do this, and you can have your other family members do it too. Where do you think you are? Have a conversation about it. Where is it that we need to build up? What is it that we need to do to fix our broken parts, right? Wow. How can we move forward in that? And that's what we're going into next. Let's heal our broken parts, all right?
So I like to finale with this piece and a cliffhanger so that when we meet again and we do this in December, because I think it's important, like what you've given us is heavy, but it's fun.
Yeah.
So I can sit down with my homies and we could do a boundary thing, man. Well, where's your level? And I can say, or with my special friend or my significant other, husband, wife, wherever you are in that scattered, or my kids.
Yeah.
And I love the thing you shared about is communicating. Maybe there's some takeaways we could give them. So like you gave us a great one, communication in terms of we and us and not them and they.
Yes.
So when this week, let's work on how are we doing? When are we going to get together? How are things going to be better? Or if some of you fall off and you say, man, I fell off, man. Well, how can we help you, man?
Yeah.
How can we help you, babe? Husband, friend. So I love that. So give us some takeaways on
wrap
how
up
with that, with the healing, because you've given us some really good stuff. Those 5 areas, maybe give us 5 takeaways or assignments.
Okay.
And then let's work on that, because this is the weekend we could do it. This is the holiday weekend. We had an extended holiday weekend. We don't go back to work till Monday. Some of us are taking a break with the sales going on to all the way to Tuesday.
Please be careful out there.
Yeah. So give us a few takeaways. I think that would be super dope.
So one thing that we can do, and thank you, and this is what I want you to do. We're not going to go too deep into it. I'm just going to give you an assignment. Do this and let us know how it's going for you. Comment under wherever you're watching this. Shoot us an email. Let us know. And if you would like to process this with me, reach out to me, hello@yearofyoushima.net, and I will process this with you. And remember, whatever you buy from my website, you will receive one of these tools that we're going over today. Wow. And you will also receive time to process that with me. You get a free 15-minute session with me, okay?
So again, the email is hello, HELLO, the @ Yushima,
yearofyoushima.net. Yes.
All right. Yes. So we want to make sure that you support and also listen, like she's legit. She got the paperwork. Well,
I got the debt.
And
student
debt. She got the debt and the paperwork. And she brown.
And I testify. I didn't visit her before.
Yes. Yes, you have.
That's right. You know?
Yes.
And so I just think it's important. Okay, give us the takeaway.
All right. So one thing I want us to take the time to do is to write what's called a transactional letter.
Okay.
There's several. Letter. And remember, we talked about last week how important journaling is because, and like you just said with the thing last week, when you write it down, it gets it out of you. It gets it out of your spirit. It makes it tangible. It makes it real. It makes it something that we could work with, right? Okay. Because it's no longer just floating in us. So I want you to write down something that you would like to tell your 5-year-old self. So remember earlier, we gave our 5-year-old self a piece of advice.
Okay.
Now we need to dig a little bit deeper. And in my workbook, I actually have several different exercises similar to this to help us tap into the child within us that's been broken or just hurt in any kind of way, okay? So when children suffer from abuse, or neglect, they have feelings of guilt and shame and may internalize the pain that's happened to them. They take responsibility for it, even though it's not their fault. I want you to take this time, and I actually have a Word document that's attached in this link below. Make sure you go ahead and check. It's a Word document that you could just fill it in. You don't need to have a printer. You don't need to use ink. Write a letter to your 5-year-old self and be very detailed. What is it that you would like for him or her to know? And it's not just that piece of advice. I want you to talk about how their life will change. Tell them about the things that they're going to experience. Remember back to how you were feeling when something good or not so good happened. And how has that shown up in your life now? And what are you going to make an agreement with them about of how you're going to become happy, healthy, and whole? Because you can't still stay in that space, right? So what are you doing now, or what promise are you going to make? What commitment are you going to make sure that you come out of those spaces of hurt, pain, disappointment, abuse, neglect, trauma, right? So tell your 5-year-old self that she's safe or he's safe now. That now you have someone to protect them, and that you're so sorry that they were placed in those situations and in that environment where they felt like they didn't have anyone that understood them. Be very detailed in your note. If you need some additional support or information on how to do it, or if you would like for me to share my letter with you that I wrote to my 5-year-old self, go to hello@yearofyoushima.net. Also, at the bottom of your form that you're working on right now, when you complete your form, all of my contact information is on the back of there. You can email me, follow me on social media, go to my website, check it out, and we can process this together. I think this is a good place to start.
Yeah.
But listen, I want you to finish the next assignment on your own. It's a bucket list, and it's so much fun.
Okay, so what's the bucket list?
Are you sure you have time to do it?
Yeah, let's do it. I think we got
Okay.
time.
After you write that letter,
Yeah.
I want you to think about a bucket list, because I like to leave on a high note. Okay.
All right.
I'm with it too.
Let's do it.
So
Let's
we
do it.
learned who we were, right? We talked about dysfunctional and functional families. We were able to identify where we fit in that. We were able to identify ways to heal those little broken pieces. Now, what is it that you like? What do you like to do? So many times when we become adults, we stop thinking about what we like and we start doing what we have to do.
Wow.
Right?
Ain't that good?
Who plays? Like, when was the last time? I do too. I love a game. I love a board game. I'm so goofy. I love the wrestle. What you do?
No, I like the Galactica, all the old school games.
Oh, the
and
games.
I'm learning the news games, but I'm like,
I like the old.
See, I'm the one with the prob. I don't really know what it is I like to do anymore.
Well, this would be a perfect assignment
This
for
is good,
you,
bro.
Guess
For
who's gonna
real.
get a
True,
packet
true.
today, and who's gonna process this today? You got homework, brother.
Hey, I got
Okay,
it. I got
Scissor.
it. We'll do it.
We're gonna do it. I'm gonna give it to you for real, and I'm gonna expect you to do it. I'm gonna check it out.
I got it.
She
That was
will
good.
do
You
it.
already
Trying to
know.
figure- Hey,
Yeah.
I've been searching myself all year, so.
Oh, this is perfect then.
This
All
is
right.
dope, man.
This is perfect. So those of you who have the handout, you're able to just click the different ones that you want. And those of you who are here, just check it in. Those of you who are listening and you don't want to pull up anything, just pay attention and make your own list if you want to, okay? So what's a bucket list? A number of experiences or achievements that a person hopes to have or accomplish during their lifetime. A bucket list is something everyone should have. This is a series of tasks that you would like to complete before kicking the bucket. These ideas are not meant to be morbid. Instead, it's a collection of inspirational goals that you'd like to accomplish in your life. A good bucket list is balanced. I don't know if you saw that movie Bucket List with Samuel L. Jackson. I love that movie.
I did too.
I gotta actually go see it.
You gotta go watch
I
it.
don't
It's
think
so
I
good.
don't think I've ever seen that.
It might be on Hulu or Netflix.
Oh, well, I got
Not
Netflix.
sponsored.
Very so.
We're not sponsored, but if you look at one, hey,
Right,
no more
right,
dirty.
right.
You have Yoshima Scissor Professor. We're here, okay?
That's what's up.
But on your bucket list, I want you to be creative and think about things that you thought about when you were little that you never had a chance to do. So we're just going to go through a couple of them. Actually, no, give me some ideas because they can see what's on the screen. Y'all give me some ideas. What's something that you would put?
Okay, so we're gonna do one. I think we'll just set one off since we're doing this, and y'all can do y'all. So, Team No More Dirty, we're gonna do something once a month.
Ooh.
So we'll do an activity where we go, even if we go bowling, because I don't know if everybody likes bowling. We'll pick something up as a crew and say we're gonna do this once a month. So after we finish the session, in the evening, sun setting early now, Sabbath sets early. We go do something, 5, 6 o'clock,
Yeah.
and just go hang out, catch a movie or something. Because, most of us are guys. We got a couple females. So we'll have to see what the ladies want to do.
See what they want to do first.
Right,
Ask,
right.
Yeah,
right?
we'll ask them first.
Communication.
Right.
Right?
Because
Communication.
we
is
got
important.
to.
That's right. And if she wants her to be a priority, y'all have to reschedule y'all time. Okay.
That's
So
a
I
live
also-
bucket list.
What's that? What you say?
That's a live bucket list.
This
That's
one
a-
What's
here?
that? Is that a goal?
This you said a live one?
That's for Fred.
Oh, for
Ah,
Fred.
What do you say?
That was a live bucket list or a
Oh,
goal?
that's a live bucket list.
That's a live
Oh,
bucket
that's gonna be
list.
live. We
You gonna
live,
do it?
but it is a live.
You know what? That would be nice to record something. And if you choose something big to do, something that you would like to do once a year off your bucket list with your friends and family, that'll be a fun live to do too. I'm just
See,
saying.
Okay.
I'm sitting here and I'm realizing how traumatized I am because I'm really trying to grab something. Because I don't want to say this is an excuse. Maybe you can assist this right at this moment. I'm telling myself I'm humble with everything I've done with this borrowed time. How can I find to ask God for anything else? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I know it's possible, but with me and my experiences, I really don't want to ask God for any more than I deserve.
And that's so real and that's so raw and that's so me. And I think that comes of a place of not feeling worthy or the fear of disappointment and abandonment that we've experienced from not getting what we needed or wanted and feeling like what you have is always enough, right? But God owns everything. And if he can give our enemies everything that they want and they're not worthy, how much more worthy are you to receive all the blessings that he has in store for you? And he said, all you have to do is ask me.
True.
That's it. It's never enough.
Right.
It's never enough. And it's not that he doesn't want you to be content. We should be content in whatever state that we are in. But I'm like a child when it comes to my father. I need you to give me all of the things, right, that you said. That is physical, that is emotional, that is all of the things that you said you could give me, including healing from trauma. I want all of that. Why not? Because you can do it. Why
That's
not?
powerful.
So when you look at him as a father who just wants to give their children everything that they have, and all you have to do is ask. And it's not even like he tells you, be perfect before you ask me for anything else. He just said, come to me, come ask me. He'll change all that other stuff. But if you're communicating with him, apply these healthy traits in relationship with the Most High.
Okay.
Apply these same things with him, and you'll find your life changing drastically. I expect him to show up for me. I expect
I'm with
it.
you there.
Yeah.
With you there. Yeah.
So when we expect it, it's gonna happen. I don't expect nothing less. And if it don't show up when I want it to, it's coming.
Right.
Because he said that.
Right.
And he cannot
Right.
lie.
Right.
He cannot. It's impossible. Yeah. So that's it. When you start to expect it.
I want to stop and pray because I think that's a lot of us because I struggle with that too. I have struggled with that. And I know there are a lot of people listening on this holiday weekend and they're going, well, at least I have. Well, it could it be worse? Or for me, well, if you want to, like God doesn't want to give us everything and the best of everything. So let me pray. This will be our God's mailbox. I want to do a little differently. And then what we'll do is next week, we'll go ahead and do the burning on the beginning of since everybody's kind of out with the holidays. So let me pray that we will do just that. We'll see God. We'll also do the bucket list, and we'll be okay with asking because he will give it in his own time. So let me do that. God, we just want to thank you for this wonderful time with Mrs. Burks and helping us to know that we can have healthy families and be whole. And so many of us struggle with asking because we are either fearful, or we've been always with just living in lanes of enough and basic and just surviving. And so we want to see ourselves without trauma, but we also want to see ourselves at our best self. So God, we give you permission today to do that. Help us to find out those things about us that we've never asked ourselves. Man, these last two sessions have been mind-blowing for us here and those that are in the audience and those that are listening. And so, God, help us not to stop. Help us not to feel like we don't have to go any further when you're saying, come to you. So we give you our fears, we give you our questions, our uncertainties, and all the things that keep us from being our best self. And we'll be sure to give you the honor and praise. And as we pray all the time, or I pray every day, God, blow each and every person's mind that's listening. Help us to understand we're part of the we, your family. And it's all about us so that we can appreciate who we are individually because of who you are as our Lord and our Savior. And we'll be sure to give you the honor and praise. We love you in the name of He who makes all things well, Yeshua the Christ, who is Jesus of the Bible. And Lord, we ask a special blessing, anointing, and favor over Mrs. Yoshima Cherry Burks. And thank you for allowing her to be a blessing to us and being a blessing to so many of us because we are family. In the name of Christ, Yeshua. Amen.
Amen.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Don't forget tonight, Scissor Hands show.
Yes.
9 p.m. G93. Shout out to Ed Gaines.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
First Lady Miss Gaines. Hey, they shout out to the sauce, man.
Yeah, they got we're going to have them come and talk about that too, man.
Yeah,
They
their
got
adventures and
seasoning and stuff.
Yes.
It's dope and it's pretty healthy too, and it's Southern flavor. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then on Sunday, don't forget that we will be doing the No More Dirty radio show, which we air G93 at 5 p.m. on Sunday, and that's Central Standard Time, and 6 p.m. on We Up. Thank you, Professor X. And let's put our hands together for Professor X. He's always quiet. Let's put our hands together for my man. He just always, he be making. So we definitely want to do that. And then also every Friday night, the No More Dirty TV show. And that's so we have the hottest, the dopest, clean family. And you can be there with your whole family rocking out every Friday night, 7:30. In fact, I think Scope will be coming in next in a couple months rocking with us. But Scissorhand will be co-hosting with us, with myself, and we'll hopefully get Professor X out of the booth to do one show with us as well. And then, of course, Marcus Sims. So it's the whole squad. We got to get you on too one Friday
I was
night.
on the radio show. I was waiting to see when you
Yes.
were going to say that.
And then, that was
plug it up. Plug it
so,
up.
It was last week.
And you already know you can
Put
get
that
us.
in
That's what's
there.
up. Bam.
All right.
Checkmate. I
Yes.
got sliced. That was a holy, unholy slice.
Wow.
Hey, man, take us out of here, sister, man. Yeah, we love you.
Yes. Thank you.
No more dirty. And enjoy the video.
Let me walk, yeah. Don't wanna talk, hey. I wanna live. Love. Let me walk. Don't wanna talk, I wanna live. I wanna be. Let me walk. Let me walk. I'm getting rid of these zombies. Don't want them killing my offspring. Taking the blessing the Lord brings. The spirit of God is upon me. Let me walk. Here's where I focus my energy. Cut off my ties and I'll take a dip. Into the water, I'll take a sip. And tell all my friends I am long gone. I gotta build up my faith strong. Stronger than Rocky, my mind blown. Hang with some people with life goals. Stop wasting your time, you will not blow. It's keep it 100, they tap in your pockets and circle your mind in a place that is haunted. I get it, my brother, you wanna be timeless. Then open your mind and then lift to the highest. Yeshua with the flies, the lion is Zion. Residing where I am and I am not worthy. My sneakers is dirty, so I am not ready to walk in the shoes. Homie, I'm lacing my feet with his word. Here comes the kicker, I can't take a loss. I know the boss, that on the cross. He take a toss, more like a toast. Then you rose, look at him go. Homie to go, you gotta know. Homie to go, you gotta know. Homie to go, you gotta know. Yeah. He said until that was his plan. He ain't gonna do it again. He gave my body a 10. Answer my flowers a rose. Gave me the faith to contend.
Conquer a hater with love. They say he did in a rise. I make him clean up the eyes. Hey, he died on Friday and rose up on Sunday, victorious on Monday. And now I go dumb and you dumb if you don't see the heavens and wonder. Like, how did it get to become such a wonder? It's making us ponder. Multiple theories about the divine. Look at the sun, flawlessly done. Circling the earth like a ring on a finger. My kick is a pillar, he sits on a throne. I put my faith in the God that's above. Sending me love through the dove from his home. Merging my spirit with heavenly thoughts. Can't buy you dinner, I'm heavily blow. Open the gate, I'm wearing a cross. Keep your designer, I'm done with the cost. Luck if you bucking, I'm begging with blood. I guess you 50 the bucket of tear. After the next, that you was there. Bowing to God, hands in the air. Lucifer shooting you come through the roof. I am not worried, I roll with the proof. All of my body ain't nothing to prove. Body with love when I get in the booth. Body with love when I get in the booth. Cool.
Oh, okay.
You know, they say sky's the limit. But what happens when you reach your sky? You realize there's still further to go. Listen. Dear Pop, I hope this letter reaches you. As a young rapper, I'd always imagine speaking through this pen like you did, man. All I wanted to be was you. Honestly, the level you on to me wasn't reachable. I put you on a pedestal like I can never do. This half as well as you and thought it blasphemy to be compared to you. What you did at such an early age was impeccable, but you died at 25. From then you never grew. No disrespect to you, but I've been growing ever since. One day, I may be the greatest rapper that ever lived. You included, the truest to do is spewing nothing but dear mamas and keep your head up. Music that you influenced. I'm in my 30s now. Life is so different and I can't live it with a 25-year-old ceiling. I'm too wise with more experience than you with 2.5. My limit can't be you, Pop. I need a new sky.
I think it's too time. I gotta aim for a new sky. New skies. It's no limit too high. I gotta pursue mine. I gotta aim for a new sky. New skies.
Dear Pops, I hope this letter reaches you. As a boy, the definition of man to me was you. You brag about the women you had, I seen it too. Few bad ones, I'll admit that you had some heat with you. You were my protector until you got some drink in you. Then you became extra, and who could protect me from you? You had a bad temper, but guess who got it too? Me, and now I even see it in my son Elijah too. You was a hustler, and moms used to be mad. I told her I ain't gotta go to school, I could be dad, cause you ain't go to work, and you had what she had. That's probably why your son lost every job he had. I tried to be a hustler and a player too, but eventually became me and stopped playing you. I'm trying to shoot high for my two, and too fly, my limit can't be you, Pops. I need a new sky.
I gotta shoot high. I think it's too time. I gotta aim for a new sky. New skies. It's no limit too high. I gotta pursue mine. I gotta aim for a new sky. New skies.
Dear Lord, I hope this prayer reaches you. From a child until my years of wildin', I would speak to you. Mama thought that by 25 I'd probably be meeting you, and I did, but this ain't how she thought I would be with you. Tried being everybody else, tried doing me. Didn't know how much space had grown between you and me. I was in pursuit of cream, you was in pursuit of me. I would claim to follow you, but not allow for you to lead. Though I knew your way was right, I also knew your way was hard. Knew that if I aimed for Christ, I would never make the mark. But I see that's what I need.
me. Cause every other thing that I wanna be ends up under me. So I'ma have to chase something that'll stay out in front of me. They say that if you aim for the stars, you hit the moon, no. Then maybe I can aim for the sun and hit Pluto. You know, and if it's too high, it proves why only you, God, can be my new sky.
I gotta shoot high, I think it's too time. I gotta aim for a new sky, new skies. It's no limit too high, I gotta pursue mine. I gotta aim for a new sky, new skies.
Hey, couldn't do it without you.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Y'all killing the game over here.
Word, appreciate it.
Professor was like, I'm gonna need you to give me a cue. I can't read your mind.